Hello, my lovely spectators. Didi here. Welcome to my studio. So I haven't brought this out in a minute, doing hashtag ABC April 2026, hosted by Seven Plaza and Crafty by Tony. And today is H, and so H is for haberdashery. Love that word. But upon investigation into it, in order to prepare for this challenge, it is a word that I've heard of before, but never used, but heard more from Seven Plaza, and maybe a little bit from Crafty by Tony, because European haberdashery speaks to notions, trims, buttons, threads, laces, those kinds of things. But in the US, where I am, it's actually something slightly different. Well, not slightly. It does still has to do with that textile world, but it has to do with men's fashion. And so that I thought was very interesting. So I was kind of thinking where to go with it, but I'm going to stick to the one that we all know and love from our hosts, Margreth and Tony. And so I scrounged up a bunch of goodies of little haberdashery or notions, as also is said, and prepped a few things because, again, do you want to see me inking stuff? We all know how to ink. And so I'm just going to put together some clusters for today's challenge and to add into the stash. I feel like everything we're doing on YouTube and everything that is being shown is to show different ideas, different takes on things, but also to kind of build up our stashes of things. They're not necessarily a one-off. I say that as my last video for the file folder was a one-off, but again, we have to change it up now and then. So what I have in front of me is some glue sticks, some Fabri-Tac. I found this washi. I've used it before. It looks like threading, because I don't have access to a sewing machine right now. So it's not something that I've incorporated, but once I do, I'm gonna love to incorporate that. Some Dollar Tree adhesive tape as a temporary, well, it's not a temporary, but as a hold. This is something that I was used to using all the time as a card maker and a scrapbooker. As a junk journaler, I feel like it's kind of like not suggested or not warranted, because I feel like it's gonna, it's gonna be falling apart, which, you know what, we have our things, we're using them in the moment. Are they gonna last for 50, 60 years? I don't know. I've gotten a bunch of scraps out of things that I have, some ribbons, some trims, some stuff a little fancier. I did take out, I had a little piece of a skeleton leaf, which is not necessarily that, and some cicada paper, just to have other layering, some music paper, burlap. I have, like I said, a piece of fabric here. So we're just going to put together some clusters using these buttons, which is the other go-to notions. So we're going to set up like I usually do, where I like to kind of figure out what my layers are going to be, make little piles, and then we will adhere and go from there. So I have 2, 4, 10 buttons prepped. Okay, so let's start with that. I have 10 of these coffee dyed tags. So these are, well, let's take a look. These guys are 2 inches wide by 1, 2, 3, and 3 1/4. More like, really here. So like 2.5, because all of that is decorative. I got a huge box of them for like a thousand or something like that, for pretty cheap. Or Facebook Marketplace, and that's like the other type of, like, I guess thrift store, right? And so I just inked these guys all up. I just recently coffee dyed them, so they were still sitting out and they were just like calling my attention, and I felt like maybe they fell into that kind of idea of haberdashery and notions, like, you go to the shop to buy stuff, the buttons and stuff like that. And so 2, 4, 6, 7, okay, 8. Okay, just making sure that I did take out 10. And so I also inked these up with walnut stain. Excuse me 1 second, I'm gonna take a sip of something. Okay, and so That didn't help. I needed a good clearing of the throat. So it made me think of like the shops, right? The notions, the haberdashery is usually what they'll be kind of called as well as part of the title of their name. So you know what the store is about. So we have the 10 tags and 10 buttons. So I'm just gonna put a button. So I did also prep these guys by tying some string that kind of coordinated to the button colors on here. No, did you want to see me tie string? I didn't think so. So we're just placing that. We're going to add some washi to them. And then I also love to have a layer of some kind of book page. I'm on a real kick with music. I have a ton of music books, old and whatever, but I still like to coffee dye the light ones. And so I'm just going to put a piece of coffee dyed morning. Sorry, it's like 5:30 in the morning. You know how it is, right, guys? I'm doing all my shenanigans while the house is asleep. So I'm just gonna put a few. So I actually inked a few more than I actually needed. So just have one placed here and there. And then we will have our different things. So these are threads that are like really fanciful and stuff. I have some really basic ribbon and some other trims. So we're just gonna, drop some pieces here and there. Let's start with some basic little fabric, right? And so, excuse me, I have some of that, which is the what is it called? What is this again? This is some vintage curtain, and when I washed it, kind of shredded apart, which was a go-to idea of actually making it into strips. And so that wasn't a too much of a oops, because I was able to still repurpose it. So we're just going to put a little piece on each pile. See the hem of it? So I'm going to take that off. I still save it, but I'm going to take that off right now. And we will get this guy and this guy. I should have... Do I have another little piece? No, not in front of me. So I guess we are going to use that guy. Instead of the white. I think the white was a little too stark. We have the white of the thing, but a lot of that's going to be covered up. Okay, so now it's about layering some of the other components, right? So let's start with these things. So I'm going to open up the glue stick because I'm going to use washi, and we know washi does not play well with being permanent. And I just want to have a little bit on this. Grab this, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of washi on here. Now it may or may not get covered up, and that's fine. I'm just putting it to have a little something in the background. And now you're saying, oh, hello, you just, put all these things here. I know. So we're gonna be moving a lot of things around. Yes, we're gonna keep all the little threads too, because whatever. So let's go here. Let's just grab a piece of washi this way, and I'm gonna put this washi here along the side. Okay, so really just adding a little something in the background that we're then going to keep applying to as we go. Am I still in frame? Yes. I just want to make sure, because sometimes I'll get into my explanation and my thought process or my yammering, my babbling, and I forget to check that I still have you in frame. So I apologize for all those times that it's not. It doesn't help that I have something underneath this, and so it makes it a little chunky, and it's not laying as flat as I would like it. Okay, so we're adding our first layer, which is going to be that washi. Okay, to it. And again, I'm not even thinking about where, I'm just putting for the sake of putting it on there. Let me move you guys a little bit this way. Yeah, so I could work closer to me as I'm doing each one of these, right? Well, I'll just, I'll just switch this out. That's what I'll do, so that I can put this one here. So The thread and everything of Haberdashery is going to be represented by this washi basically because I don't have, like I said, a sewing machine. So we're using thread. We're using thread on the button. We're using button. We're using fabric, and we're using some ribbon and some trim. Okay. And we're making these little tags that I figure, you know, they're not little, but they could hang on the side of a smaller tag. They could dangle from the back of a spine of a book, of a journal. So just something nice to have into my stash. So I'll have 10 of them ready to go from whenever I need to add a little something to a journal. Okay. So we don't need the fabric tack just yet. So we're just swapping out the ones that were already, we don't need this nasty coaster, especially with that drink being on it. Okay, and we have 2 more to put the washi to. So how has everybody's experience been with ABC? April? Are you participating yourself? Have you found somebody that has done something like, whoa, that is so cool? If you have, let me know in the comments below. Because I am like searching up something that I did during Mass Make March, and I would watch people here and there when I had time to, because I'm still participating and it is an everyday kind of challenge. And I'm trying to do the 100 day challenge as well. I will trim off these little excesses right now. I don't want to put them to the back because the back I want to keep it pristine in the sense of, you know, nothing there. I'm going to put the next layer, which is going to be my little circle of music. And so of course, because there's words, I know which one is up, and we're going to put some wood glue, and I'm just going to attach it anywhere on here. I'm not being fussy. If I wind up covering a good amount of it, you know, it's fine. It's all fine. Okay. Remember, these are not going to be identical. They are all just part of the same family. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just putting and building my clusters, and I will be overlapping things as I go. Okay, all right. You're looking for the words, making sure that I have them the right side up. So here we go. We trade again. We trade again. This guy has to be here. And we'll trade one more time. And we'll set up these guys. Yeah, so I feel like I'm gonna dub myself the Mass Make Queen only because I really like to be using up as much of my potential product to sound so official and technical. When I'm building, I don't want to have too much scraps. I have been collecting scraps here and there. Usually if it's something a little bit bigger that I know I have a ton of, like for example, music paper, I will cut out a bunch of circles because circles are, for me, a go-to staple in like layering of a cluster. I think they're the perfect little add-on to put to give a little bit of a different texture and all of that goodness. Okay, 2 more of these little papers and then we will be good to go. Okay, let's put this up here. And yes, I probably should have inked this side. Let me do that real quick. So I used walnut stain. I just got a re-inker, so it's nice and dark. So like I like. And again, like I said, paper to paper wood glue right now. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now I want to add in another layer, so let's put that piece of fabric. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the piece of fabric down with the 3 this adhesive. So I'm just gonna put a little strip of the dotted adhesive and I'm gonna add that right there. It's gonna hold it enough so when I go to put the fabric tack, it'll squish through and all of that good stuff when I'm ready to add that little bit to it. Okay, so no rhyme or reason. Again, we're just building upon itself. I love smelling the piece of fabric. Did it fall? I don't know what happened to it. Okay, that's weird. All right, this guy's done. This one's done. Okay, let's bring the, oh, I have two up here. Okay, so let's just bring everything down here because I'm working over here where you guys can see me better, right? Okay, let's do that there. Okay, let's just like this. Okay, there we go. Let's do a little bend one, because why not? Go this way, and we'll have a little bit of bend, and we'll add some more to that up there. Okay. So just, you know, have fun with it. Have fun with placing your stuff. It's a junk journal. It's all good. Okay. And anything we don't like, you know, we have these elements that hang over. You can trim them out, you know. There's nothing that's etched in stone right now as we're doing this. Okay, here we go. Just a little tiny piece. I'm going to open it up so we can lay it flat and benefit from it a little bit. We'll put it right up against this other one. Okay. And let's see here. So we could still squish this. It still has movement. And let's put this here and here. There we go. So we're almost done with our first layer of haberdashery. Well, real haberdashery, which is this fabric. Okay. This one's a little thicker, so let's add a little more adhesive to get it to lay straight. Okay, so now we do have the buttons. They have different colors: black, purple, browns, grays, blacks. And so I want to pull a piece of ribbon or something else. Like I had this and I thought, should I incorporate some of this because we already have the music? But I think not. That would be too repetitive. So I'm just gonna push this back to my little bin over there, and we have this ribbon. So I'm not sure if I want to do something that's a little more decorative, a little smish-mosh, something that's more like a bow. So let's take a look. Maybe we should work with this next. So these are little threads that I got from the Moo. I'm just being funny because I know a lot of people do not want to shop from them, and that's fine. I have, and I may in the past have, and I may in the future will. So okay, so let's just put a little bit that we're gonna just glue down on some of these guys. Just a little loopy loop, nothing major. Okay, we will secure that with a little bit more fabric tack. Okay, just to add a little bit of color in there. So let's see here, where else can I put this one? You know what, let's put it with the white button. That will be fun. This is a black button. Okay, so we could put anything with that. Let's grab some of this pink. And put some of that up here with the purple button. I like this light one here. There's a gray button there. I think I'm going to include that over there. Okay. And there's a brown button. We're going to move that over here. Another black button. So I think I'm going to put it here for this gray button as well. Okay. And what can we put with the black button? Do I have another one? I thought I had a fifth one. Oh, maybe it's still inside here. Yes, that's where it is. It's still in my bin. Let's grab this out for that. And put that for that one, and we'll put it for here. it's really just interesting that it's just a matter of being a bunch of threads that have been laid out together in that way. And you just, wrap them up together. They're fuzzy little threads, but they're fun. Okay, everybody has threads? No, that doesn't have threads. You know what? I do have another one. Yes, let's do that. Let's change it up. So adding a little bit of color with this is not a bad thing. It's not a focal, but it's a part of the layer. Okay. All right. Now, how do we want to do this? Let's see here. I have a piece of this, which is a piece of trim that was just there. So we can add that piece of trim to there. So we're going to wind up gluing that there. We're going to take a piece of this. It's all wrinkled up here. I don't know what happened to this. I have an iron, but I'm not going to toss it. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to use it for ironing. Let's put that there. So we've got this here. We've got that trim there. Let's add, I have this one, which is really pretty. It's flat as well. Where's the beginning? Okay, come. Or maybe it is super thin. Let's see. It might be what I'm thinking. It might have been something different. Oh, tape. I know, right? Who closes up their stuff with tape? I do. I do, and I did, and now I'm regretting it. Oh, here we go. Where's the end? Let's find the end. Okay, the end is right here. So we're just going to cut off a little snip of it. Okay, it's got all those extra little pieces. And let's see. Let's put it not with the tape, bro. Not with. Oh, I'm so sorry. And we're gonna put this guy back in. We're done with that. Let's add a piece of this. Let's see. Let's add it to 2 because I only have this little bit. So we'll add it to this one, and let's add it to. Let's see. Let's just add it to that. Okay. And let's see what else we have. We have some black ribbon or black lace trim. Let's take a piece of that. We're going to add that over here to the black button. I have a brown button here. We have a brown piece. Let's add the brown piece to that. Okay, we'll put these back in the stash. Okay, where's my purple button? Right here. We already added to that. This button is the gray button. I think I want to add like a very vibrant pop of color to one of these. So let's just grab a piece of this, because why not, right? Not everything has to be so neutral. I have another piece of this. So where could I add that? What doesn't have something yet? I think they all, no, this one doesn't have. We'll put that there. And yeah, I think everything, this one needs something. So let's see if we find something that we can put there. Do we want, let's put a piece of fabric there. Why not? We didn't use fabric in anything else. So maybe not that big. Let's layer a piece of fabric on that one. We'll put that back in the stash. So we got fabric. Yeah, okay. So we are good. Yeah, this is kind of how I do my things. I just lay it down and go from there. So I took on a lot of variety just to see, but I am good with what we have right now. So let's move them to the side. Let me put my little circles back in my stash, and let's work on using the Fabri-Tac with this guy. Right? So we're gonna want to kind of make a round with the threads, okay, and then we have our twine, or our what is this called? Trim. So the trim, I'm gonna add globs on the back of the trim. I'm going to put it across somehow like that. Press down like this. Okay. It's gonna lift if your hands are all sticky. It's gonna stick with the hands. All right, and then we're gonna put our button on here somewhere. Let's say there. So we'll need another dollop of Fabri-Tac. Okay, here. And I also did the threading of the needle, the threading of the button with, you know, so that it would have threads, fabric to attach to from the back to help secure that button in place from coming off, because, you know, being that it's plastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this bad boy. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We've got our little smushy thing of texture there. And then I think I want to do a little kind of like that to it. So let's add some Fabri-Tac and a dollop right here, because I'm going to be doing like a little ribbon swoopy swoop. So let's add that glue right there. Okay. And then we're going to make this little, whatever you call this, kind of a shape. Come on. I'm going to have to place it and then hold it for a moment or two till the layers of the Fabri-Tac go through the fabric. The layers of the, you know. Okay. I can feel it sticky to my finger. Let's put a dollop of glue here for the button. I really need to fill this up so I don't have to constantly try to get this there. Okay, and we'll hold that down through the plastic. Okay, all right. Okay, it needs a little more holding. Yeah, so that's the only thing with the Fabri-Tac. It's like, I understand that it's supposed to be like really good and really holds, and it's for fabric and we're using fabric in our stuff, but it's annoying. It's annoying as heck to get it to hold. So I think we're gonna start to cheat on some of these, and we're just gonna find a little bit binder clip to kind of hold that down a little bit. This one seems okay. Let's do another one. Let's do the green one over here. Okay, so as simple as that. I'm gonna take our little threads, make a little loopy loop kind of situation, place it down. Okay, and then with this one I'm gonna place it maybe like this. Okay, so we're gonna add Fabri-Tac across here, right? You see right there. So I know that I'm hitting that. This is gonna get smushed into it right there. And it's such a glob that I feel like if I just smush this button in there, because of the threads, yes, it's holding. Okay, let's grab another one of these. Let's see if it reaches. No, it doesn't reach. Oh well. Wah, wah. You know what I need? I need some what's those oh my god, what's it called? Clothespins. I think the clothespins would help. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't seem to be lifting too much. I think that ribbon was popping up the other one. So let's just go through making all these guys, right? So we have our little swoop-de-swoop of thread. This is gonna need a ribbon thing. I'm gonna cut off the edges to be, well, should we try fraying them a little bit? Okay, yeah, we could do that. Okay. Oh no, that's too much. Let's cut up some of that. All right, we're gonna do the same thing we did before, like that. So we're going to add a gloppy glop right here. Okay. Oh, separation. We need some between. That's a lot of glue. That's a lot of glue. That's a little bit much. Oh, trying not to get glue on my fingers is getting glue everywhere. I gotta stop the insanity. That was not smart. See, look at this. Look. Okay, okay. All right, we got that, and now we're gonna put this button, and let's hope that this is gonna reach. Let's see. Yeah, it's reaching enough like that. Okay, we'll put it over there, and we'll look at them all once. By the time I get through the rest, it should be nice and adhered. So we've done 4 so far. Okay, so I'm sorry that this is also a mass make. Okay, so now we have fabric instead of ribbon. So I think I'm gonna alternate the shape, whatever, not the shape, the position. Now that is a little bit too much covering of the music, so I'm gonna make sure that I can still see the music. And then we have a little cluster of threading, right? Trying to get all the little threads kind of into the center-ish, something like that. Okay. Again, because it's fabric and it's gonna see through, I'm gonna do a little globby glob there. All right, and then this button we're going to push right there. Okay, and it is laying down, so it's not getting pushed forward. So I'm gonna put that guy to dry over there. I'm gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna have our little threading situation, and then we have our trim. Okay, so yeah, I want to do something fancy. Let's see, do this and this and have like that double situation, kind of like that. I think that's good. I'm gonna add a little bit below and on top because of the double layer or quadruple layer, maybe. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and then a little bit on top. Thank you that it dries clear. Okay, all right, let's go right there. Okay, I need a clip for that one, I think. Let's see if I can reach it. No, she don't like that. She doesn't want to be held. We will force the issue. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see what color button we have here. Purple. Okay. So this one has this extra. So I think I'm going to cut off this and we'll put all this little fluff into our little stash of whatnot. I think we're going to put this here. And then we will do our little swoop-de-swoop. Okay, like that, and our button like that. What do we think? Yeah, I think that's cute. Okay, so this is a little thicker, so I'm gonna go underneath, put a beast glob, then here it'll get pushed through everything onto what we needed to get pushed onto. Okay. Ugh, come on. We need another clip, and we need some clean fingers. That's the problem. Because my fingers are making they're sticking to the thing. Let's see here if we can clip her. It's these round buttons. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, I just needed to try to clean off my fingers with a wipey. Somewhat of a successful job, but all right, we have a few more left. So I hope that you are still here watching. I don't know, because I feel like sometimes maybe doing multiples of something, people might want to bounce from the situation, and I hope that you guys are hanging around to watch everything, because, that's part of baby channels wanting to build up and be more successful and maybe make something of their channels. So we need the watch time. and we need the likes, and we need the comments and the interaction and all that good stuff. So if you can do all of that, that would be awesome. Okay, so we got the glue right here. Let's grab another clip. So you see, I'm not even worrying about where. It's just a whole visual that's really cool, right? I think sometimes we may overthink everything when we're thinking about a cluster, and I try to not stress myself out that way, because the eclectic nature of junk journaling, I think, is just perfect to just be able to do whatever in terms of this. I mean, look, I just laid it down. I think that looks cute. Let's add a blob that I can push through all the layers, and it will secure. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's going right through. And I think I'm running out of big clips. Okay. Yes, let's see if I can get this guy to clip this one down for a little bit. Yes, okay. And then this is our last one, which has a big old black button. And this. Okay. So I'm going to do, I don't know, another one of these, another one of those. Let's see. Yeah, let's give this guy some length, okay, like the last time. So we're gonna do a couple of layers. So we got that first layer of this. Okay, I'm gonna wipe it off of there and open it back up on there. Okay, and then we're gonna do our little blobby blob. Okay. Oh, it's so weird how it's like what is it called? Hot glue. And then I'm gonna put a little button there. Okay. And let's see if we can just add a little pressure. Okay, here we go. We're adding a little bit of pressure. All right, so this is my H for haberdashery, using all the little notions and stuff like that. So let's go back and take some clips off. So we have this first one here, right, with this cute little white button. So that's one. This guy didn't need to be held with anything, so we have a nice little green button. Two. This one had to be held, but we can let go. Oops. That's three. Okay. All right, three. We had this one that didn't need to be held, which was four. This guy, which was five. Okay. This one was from before, a while ago, so hopefully it's being held down enough. That's six. 2 and 3. This was from before. That's 7. This was a while ago too, I believe. So this is 8. So now it's staying down there. This is the next to last one. That little bit of a clipping was good enough. And then there's this one here, which we just did. I'm going to take the clip off because why not? All right, so we have 10 beautiful tag clusters with haberdashery stuff on there. We've got ribbon, we've got thread, we've got yarn, we've got trim, we've got fabric, buttons. So there's my H for haberdashery. I hope you find this, helpful and stuff like that. So, I'm going to go back and I'm going to, get rid of all these extra little bits of, what is this called? Washi, right? If it's overhanging the washi, I think I might just cut that off. I don't think I'm going to cut off anything else that's overhanging, just that sticky. And yeah, of course, none of this is perfect when it comes to adhering it. So I would later on, once it's been sitting for like, I don't know, before I put it into my stash or my bucket or wherever, however you hold your ephemera, I would like maybe shake it up really good to see if anything wants to fall off, and make any kind of adjustments or add anything else that you feel might be a little too loose, right? Depending on how it's going to be used. I feel like it's going to be used, it should be used like a dangle almost, right? So that way it's hanging off something. And so it's not, I don't think it's going to be pushed into a pocket. So having that, a lot of three-dimensionality, I don't think is a problem when it comes to this particular make. Let's get that off of there. Okay. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed. If you're new and you just found me, please subscribe. You'll come back. I'll have other stuff, and you know, we'll have some fun. If you've been with me, thank you so much for sticking in and hanging on and holding on and all that good stuff. Everyone, please like, comment, tell me what you think. What would you have done differently? Any thoughts? Constructive criticism is not is not a bad thing, as long as it's not nasty. So I've heard too many people with horror stories about people saying very negative, unbecoming things. We don't mind to hear from you guys if you have something to say that would help us along, or maybe we made a mistake, but not if you're gonna say it in such a way that's hurtful. All right, PSA is over. Until next time, ciao, ciao, bye.